Presented by EA Sports in association with the PGA Tour. Here at the TPC Scottsdale in Arizona, and Frank, when so many people tune in to watch this great event, they think immediately of the 16th hole with all of those fans jammed in. It's like Fenway Park inside the desert there. But it's much more than that little par 3, isn't it?
It certainly is more than that, Rich. The TPC Scottsdale is a great venue for a PGA Tour event. It's a blend of everything. Birdie opportunities, holes that are fought by water, bunkering that's being changed. All in all, it's a great atmosphere with nearly 500,000 people that visit this during the tournament week.
And now the second shot here at this par 5. Frank, this one's going too far left, it looks like.
Yeah, it was fine there for a little while, but if it keeps going left, it's doomed.
Into the thick stuff, that's a difficult lie. Shot now from the rough. Frank, what's he facing?
Well, the lie first and foremost. If it's sitting down, then obviously you're not going to get a very good contact. Nothing wrong with coming up a little bit short of the green. Problem is turning one mistake into another. I mean, there's skill, and that was sublime.
Just good hands, coming out of the rough, able to manage the distance, and now in great position. Player knows they're on the move with that birdie. Quick glance at the leaderboard. They can see, Frank, they're not out of it.
Things are very volatile right now.
And now to the 14th hole. That's where we find our featured golfer. Frank, it's only the first round, but you're a believer that these can be as important as the final round.
Well, if you get yourself in contention, Rich, then obviously you get the momentum much easier. And the feeling of being in the hunt, that's going to give you the adrenaline rush. And you'll breeze through 4 rounds.
Excellent drive, Frank, right where you want to be. Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
Not terrible, but not his best.
Yeah, outside chance, really, for birdie, but really, it was a rather poor approach shot.
So close. Pretty good stroke right there. Just hit it through the break.
Well, it's that sort of distance. If it goes in, it's a bonus.
Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. Frank, how does that par help his cause?
It certainly doesn't hurt it.
Now at the par 5 15th, and Frank, there is plenty to catch your eye. There's also quite a bit to catch your ear. You can hear the roars at the par 3 16th. So how do you focus on the task at hand?
Great question, Rich. You know, you realize you're about to enter the stadium part of the golf course. But this is the last par 5 that you're going to play. We've seen eagles here over the years. We've seen many a player hit it in the water off the tee or water short of the green. Certainly one of the tougher tee shots coming in. No bunkers here to worry about, just that huge lake to the left. Find the fairway. You might just find the green.
That was a big, bold strike, and now a chance for a big, bold move. Putt for eagle coming up. Good chunk of real estate here, 22 feet away. Go ahead and do that. What a putt. Great scoring opportunity here at the par 5 15th, but Frank, I'm wondering, as a player, is your mind beginning to think about what's ahead at that par 3 16th hole?
Oh, they are. This is really the finishing stretch at TPC Scottsdale, where you get all these swing holes. 15 is a swing hole. 16, 17, and 18, where so many changes in the score can actually happen. But this one here is all about finding the fairway. A good drive down here will be well rewarded because you'll have a chance to reach this par 5 and 2.
Might want to check the GPS on a putt this long. Just singes the edge, Frank.
Yeah, but at least he's burning the edges. You know you're hitting good putts.
So they'll tap in. Even with that par, we'll drop down on the leaderboard.
Time to change gears. Birdie time.
Now to the 17th. And Frank, fair to say this is one of the best short par 4s in all of golf?
It is. The drivable par 4 that's designed the way it's meant to be played is a winner. The ones that are just shortened to be made drivable, they don't work. This was designed to be a 17th hole, and it was designed to be drivable. You couldn't get a better place, and you couldn't get a better par 4.
Not a gimme, but well within his range. Goes to 6 under par for the tournament. What a display of golf. Well, again, the fairways are lined with those huge galleries coming off 16 and 17. Now the finishing hole here at TPC Scottsdale. And Frank, what can we expect?
Well, this is a goodie. It'll play slightly as a dogleg left. Now, many a year, a player would try and carry the ball all the way over that water down the left side, but those new bunkers down there, it stopped the J.B. Holmes attack on this par 4. You're really going to have to play a little right of those now, and there's a couple of bunkers up on the hill to stop you doing that. So this is really a much tougher tee shot. 440 yards of par 4 just got a little bit more difficult.
That should be pretty good right there. On the safe side. Coming out of the rough and right up next to the hole. Settles in over the putt. Yet another birdie and on the march, 7 under for the tournament. Well, Frank, round 1 in the books. Look who's on top of the leaderboard.
And that's with some strong play today. They don't really need to look back. Strong play heading into the second round tomorrow.
This is EA Sports coverage of the PGA Tour. Simply put, there is nothing like it in the game of golf. It is by far the biggest spectator event in the sport. We're at TPC Scottsdale in Scottsdale, Arizona. Hello again and welcome. Rich Lerner alongside my friend and colleague Frank Nobilo. And Frank, what can you tell us about this golf course?
Well, everybody wants to know about 16, the famed par 3 here, surrounded by those skyboxes. Once again, that'll be a topic of the day. But really, this is a regular sight for the PGA Tour. So those of you that were familiar with the golf course, it's now changed. 2014, the designers Morris and Weiskopf did a massive renovation.
Well over 100,000 fans every day, better than 500,000 for the week. It's a giant party mixed in with a heck of a tournament. He's knocked it on the green, but not in a great position. This is a difficult chance coming up here. Long birdie try. Birdie putt coming up. Had a par on this hole yesterday. Speed wasn't bad on that long putt, but the read wasn't very good. Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either. Workmanlike hole. He walks away with a par. On to the par 3 7th, 215 yards from that back tee box, Frank.
This hole hasn't really changed. Still has that V-shaped green where it's very narrow in the front. A high-flying shot in here that carries that front edge, and you'll find the further and further you go back there, the more receptive, and that green starts to widen.
Not quite what he wanted. Tee shot is in the bunker. Well, bunker play is really about technique and feel. The two greatest ever are probably Gary Player and Seve Ballesteros. Seve actually was so good, he was so skilled, that he could open up a 3-iron, that's right, a 3-iron, on a short bunker shot from a greenside bunker and splash it to a couple of feet as if he had just used a 60-degree sandwich. Amazing. Well done. This is a good hole, Frank, the par 4 8th.
Yet another dogleg left, Rich, on the front side. And it's a sharper dogleg now because they've put in 2 bunkers down the left side. It used to be a bailout area for the players in the past. You can't do that anymore. And I doubt anybody can fly it over that left one. It's nearly 330 yards to carry that in the air. Those 2 bunkers have forced the players to go out to the right, making that second shot a little bit longer now.
Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
Playing this par 4, still not on the green after that second shot.
But still not done. A good third shot. Maybe get away here with par. And that's a big green. He's managed to get it smack bang in the middle of it.
Nudge this one home, finish it up. And he has it.
A good putt redeems all.
Rounding out the front 9 with a par 4 of 453 yards from the back tee. Looks to be straight away here, Frank. Anything to be cautious about on this tee shot?
Well, that bunker, there used to be 2 bunkers down the right side. There is now 1, and it also pinches into the fairway, which almost makes this hole look like a faint dogleg right. But really, the best line is still down the left side, so it still actually suits a draw off the tee. Green is slightly elevated and not very deep too, so judging that second shot, getting the right club is essential here at 9.
This is a good-looking shot. Frank, not just a player, but an artist. Just beautiful work right there.
The only thing I can say, Rich, is that was Seve-esque.
Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business. Just continuing to play some really good golf. 8 under par for the championship. Frank, right where you want to be at the midway point of a tournament.
Yeah, you know your game's solid. The focus is more on the leader and that you can just go out and play. Excellent position to be in.
EA Sports is proud to present PGA Tour coverage. Welcome to the Stadium Course, TPC Scottsdale in Arizona. It's a masterful blend of challenge and playability designed by the team of Tom Weisskopf and Jay Moorish. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Novelo for EA Sports.
The changes, Rich, they made in 2014 have just added a luster to this great venue that hosts the PGA Tour event each and every year. And it's a great test for any level of play.
Frankie's going for 2 birdies in a row.
If he can knock this one in, then that's certainly going to help the confidence.
With that birdie, moves 1 shot closer to the lead. Now to the 5th hole and a challenging par 4.
Slightly longer this year, played off a new tee at the back, and there used to be 2 bunkers down the right side. They've now been put together to form one, and in the perfect position that really make you think about your tee shot. It takes a very big drive to try and carry that bunker on the right. It's going to be at least 315 plus yards to get past that. Green itself still tilts a little left to right and back towards the player.
Second shot, good look at the green. Good chance now for a birdie. That was an outstanding play.
Oh, it's almost a guarantee there after that shot.
Frank, this would be a nice way to jumpstart the round.
Yeah, his momentum can quickly go in the right direction if he makes this.
Oh, my goodness, Frank. That is painful.
Oh, yeah, you'd rather miss the hole at times, wouldn't you?
As his par. Now to the par 4 6th. Decision time, Frank. Driver, where do you go with 3-wood?
A lot of that's going to depend on if there's any breeze. If the breeze is at your back, you can drive it all the way down the right side and take those 2 bunkers down the right completely out of play. This hole's been stiffened up, though. The length hasn't increased with that bunkering in that choke point. So the strategy, do you have the length to get past them? Or if you have to lay up, it's going to leave a much longer second shot. Safely on deck.
Great shot coming out of that bunker right there.
Showing some skills today.
These putts keep the round together. Oh, man.
Just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. Just a little tap in here.
That's a good par there, Rich.
Frank, where's the difficulty here on the 7th hole, the par 3 of more than 200 yards?
Well, Rich, front hole locations are always probably the toughest here because that's the narrowest part of the green. Bunkering really hasn't changed, and the green still does widen up, but the hole tends to play slightly uphill.
Into the thick stuff, that's a difficult lie. Second shot coming out of the rough here. Solid play, heart of the green. This one just requires a little bit of focus. Filling it up today. Beautiful putt. Frank, the par 4 8th. This is a good hole.
It is a dogleg to the left, forces the player to go out the right, and this will play every inch of its yardage, which is over 470 yards. Green's still pretty much the same with that false front, unless there's a flag position in the front. You're really going to have to fly at least 20 yards or so into that green, otherwise that ball is going to run towards the front.
That is an exceptional shot on the green and in position for a birdie.
Yeah, it's a formality now.
Moves into second place with that birdie. Finishing out the front side now at the 9th. And Frank, what do you think of this par 4?
Nice way to finish the front 9, Rich. Very thin green, protected by that little splash bunker in the front. Iron players get a real advantage here. One bunker down the right side to be aware of off the tee, though. I doubt anybody could carry that.
Nicely played shot, about 310 yards down the fairway. By my reckoning, we have 140 yards left.
There's a big green, and they're going to use every inch of it.
That's well played. Oh, good look at birdie. Par yesterday, now for birdie.
Given the situation, Rich, things so tight at the top. Very, very good birdie.
That was huge right there. Still with a great chance to come away with this title. Today's coverage brought to you by EA Sports and the PGA Tour. Set in the Sonoran Desert and surrounded by the majestic McDowell Mountains, we're at the stadium course at TPC Scottsdale in Arizona. Hello again and welcome. Rich Slaughter alongside Frank Nobilo, set to bring you all the action for today's event. Frank, when you think about the TPC Scottsdale, what's the first thing that comes to your mind?
The golf course has been radically changed in 2014, but it still hasn't lost its luster. Really, it's just been updated like the game itself for these young, strong players of the modern era.
So from the rough back to the fairway, that's the right way to go.
Yeah, didn't take the bait, and at least now He's only going to play the price of a poor tee shot. Still got a good chance, though, getting away with par.
Birdie try up next. This is a cross-country special. Always two components to the long lag putt, the speed, number one, and then the read. And missed out on that second part. Nothing wrong with that par putt. At the 14th now, it's a par 4.
And a dogleg left once again. The bunker on the left side is being pushed out to the fairway to really make you think whether or not you can carry that. It's a lengthy second shot because it's going to play a little bit uphill. And this green is well protected on the left side with the two bunkers.
.105 yards left. Strong wind here early in the round. How do you think this is going to affect the players, Frank?
Well, they've got to be clever on a club selection and the type of shot they want to hit now.
So the second of the par 4 goes begging, and now I'll have to rely on the short game.
Yeah, but a short game, as we all know, can redeem a lot of mistakes. Let's see if he does it here.
Didn't check, Frank.
Yeah, just not enough spin on that, really. I mean, that almost like took that first bounce and just ricocheted forward.
Pretty good shot right there. Shouldn't be a problem here. Well, you can't afford to give away strokes coming down the stretch. All right, Frank, now the fun begins. We are teed up at the par 5 15th hole. Plenty to talk about here.
Yeah, the fairway down the left side is anything other than straight. It's more like a shipwreck, the raggedness of it. And that water in play, well, if you do find one on the fairway, you can sort of always wave across to the people that are walking down the 11th hole. Find the fairway, you can reach this par 5 and 2. A little bit of an island-looking green there, bunker on the left, and also another bunker just short right. But a fairway missed here. Well, you can rack up 5, 6, 7. We've seen all sorts of scores here at 15. There's a bunker over there.
I think he's headed for it.
Rub the shamrock. Got away with getting in the bunker there.
This is a pretty long putt here. You'd be happy to get this to within 2 or 3 feet. You really want to take the stress out of that next putt. You've got to be kidding me. That was right on the edge.
I tell you, he wants to do over there.
Clean this up with a tap. It's a nice birdie right there.
Could not have come at a better time. Third place now.
Frank, the one moment that sort of made the 16th hole what it is today would have to be Tiger's ace in 1997 here at the TPC Scottsdale when it was raining plastic cups.
It was also his reaction, too, and that ushered in the Tiger Woods era that we became associated with, which is the fist-pumping, the rowdy spectators. I mean, he was one of the few players that bridged the gap between spectator and golf course. And it still goes on till today. And I think Rory McIlroy probably is the only other player that starts to broach that type of inside and outside atmosphere with golf.
Still to this day, it's the loudest single moment that I can ever remember hearing on a golf course.
Even par currently.
Solid par, in good position on the leaderboard.
Yeah, second place. And you get the impression that's going to change soon too.
Frank, when you get to the 17th hole, we always recall maybe the single most bizarre shot in the history of golf.
Yeah, everybody talks about maybe a hole-in-one at 16, but really 17. And the player was Andrew McGee. It was a good tee shot, don't get me wrong. But Rich, it needed an assist.
Well, the assist came from Tom Byram, whose brother Kurt is a commentator for the Golf Channel. Tom Byram was just minding his own business, standing on the green, sort of leaning on his putter, and you know what happened.
Yeah, the ball hit Tom Byram's putter and then careened into the hole. So, 17. Made famous, a little bit of history with a couple of names to drag up from the past.
That was not a very good read right there. Now this for birdie, came away with par in the previous round. Frank, tie atop the leaderboard now.
I think it's certainly starting to get everybody captivated.
That was a nice birdie. Par 4 18th, and Frank, if you are trying to win the tournament out here at TPC Scottsdale, this is all you want down the stretch.
It is. There's a short bunker there, obviously for the recreational player to respect. 3 bunkers down the right side protected, and that new bunkering situation down the left there to stop the attack of a Bubba Watson or a J.B. Holmes. Now this tee shot is going to have to be respected, and the green too is anything other than flat.
Seems to like it. Headed for the fat part of the green. How good was that, Frank, from the rough?
Oh, that's amazing. That's a masterclass in short game.
Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business. Wow, I thought he made that. Well, that would have been a bonus had it gone in, but still, reasonable chance for par here.
Yeah, there's no damage. You're not going to birdie every hole. No mistake made there with par.
Just a great putt and a great win. NBC Golf Channel on EA Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly presents the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live opening round coverage of the Arnold Palmer Invitational. Lost that one, out of bounds, and that is a costly stroke. So playing the third shot right now after having gone OB. In the bunker, still with a chance for an up and down.
Well, this is easily and quickly getting out of hand. 6 shot now to the fairway bunker. And does not want to hit that lip in front of him.
Needs a clean strike here. Get down! Lay down! Did the smart thing there, Frank. Took his medicine, back out onto the fairway. Well, once you hit double the par, it's time to just pick up and move on. Let's go down to the 11th. Frank has not gone their way through the early portion of the round. What can they do to turn it around?
Well, you're right, Rich. It's been a rough start. It's basically back to basics. Missing too many fairways and too many greens, so therefore less opportunities. Got to reverse that trend.
Just an ideal lie, Frank. What can he do from here?
Well, if he takes advantage of the tee shot now and goes with this flag, then he will certainly gain on the field.
Stuck the follow-through right there. This could be really good. Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. I tell you, he's setting himself up for a good weekend. Former college #1 makes another birdie. Frank, 574-yard par 5. Scoring opportunity here?
The breeze behind, once again, a reachable par 5. The hardest thing about this hole really is the green. It's raised up a little bit, slopes off on either side.
Not missing by much today, but enough to again be in the bunker. Frank, really no problem. High-level players don't mind a fairway bunker.
Yeah, good clean lie. Just a nice swing there, guaranteed the clean contact. That lip shouldn't be a problem. Still fly that ball all the way to the green.
Frank, that was the right thing to do.
Yeah, there was no advantage to try and get any more out of that. Smart shot.
So after the layup, Frank, here at the par 5 12th, hit shot here, try to make birdie.
Yeah, just use the contours of this green. You can actually get to this flag a lot of different ways. Using one of the mounds, there's nothing wrong with that.
Good chance now for a birdie. That was an outstanding play.
Well, it's almost a guarantee there after that shot.
All right, Frank, now a chance to begin to turn it around.
It's got to start somewhere. Really, the first display of golf we saw was poor, but now this is what people expect.
Starting to climb back at +2. Frank, the par 4 13th, relatively short, but not necessarily easy.
A stringent tee shot. A lot of people are tempted to take a bigger club off the tee. 300 yards runs out of the fairway, but really, what does that give you in?
Good tee shot, good lie, and now a good chance to take advantage here on this hole. Second shot, good look at the green. Another good swing, and it looks like, Frank, another really good shot. That is a really good shot landing close to the flagstick. Not a gimme, but well within his range. Well, you could see he's just disgusted with that effort. Just a couple of feet. Been a little too much of that, Frank. Just sort of ho-hum pars. Frank, as we come to the 14th of par 3, what's ahead for the players?
Once again, another tough par 3 coming up. Narrow at the front. It gets a little wider the further you go up this green.
That will be a great look at birdie. And getting ready for the putt. Oh, I thought he had that. Oh, man.
I just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. That's a par. Stays at +2. Frank, the 15th, kind of a fun golf hole if you can curve your ball. I mean, that's a huge dogleg to the right, isn't it?
Yeah, it's much easier if you're a right-hander if you cut it down here. If you don't cut it, then make sure you don't run out down that left side.
That one is in the fairway, down there about 290 yards. Frank, what are you looking to do with this approach shot here at 15?
Anytime the flag's on the front, Rich, it's basically green light special. When the flag starts to get pushed towards that back area of that green, it starts to get narrower and narrower and narrower. And that's where you've got to be a little careful.
Good, clean contact and a nice result. And a chance for birdie coming up.
It's no snack, though.
Beautiful touch. Nice putt. Second round coverage coming your way tomorrow. For our entire crew, I'm Rich Lerner alongside Frank Navalo. So long for now. NBC Golf Channel on EA Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly presents the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. It's second-round coverage of the Arnold Palmer Invitational. Headed for the bunker, I think.
Rub the shamrock. Got away with getting in the bunker there.
Now the approach shot, par 4, 15th hole. Frank, break it down.
Green narrows up the further back you go, so the most generous place to land the ball is in the front half of this green. It's also the flattest section of the green.
We haven't seen a whole lot of that, but no doubt it feels good. Frank, we know at Bay Hill, the finishing stretch allows a player to make some things happen. You can make up some ground. Par 5, 16. How realistic is birdie or even eagle?
Well, this is where it all starts, and you're right on the money here, Rich. Good tee shot, you can be looking at 3 or 4. Bad tee shot, 6 or 7, and the round goes horribly wrong because you've got 17 and 18 to come.
Second shot coming out of the rough here. So from the rough back to the fairway, that's the right way to go.
Yeah, didn't take the bait, and at least now he's only going to play the price of a poor tee shot. Still got a good chance, though, getting away with par.
All right, Frank, now the third shot here to this par 5, 16th. Still thinking birdie, aren't you?
Yeah, over the years, though, a lot of guys have actually tried to land their third shot past the flag and spin it back a little bit. That's the safer way to play this hole, and certainly the most rewarding way to play the third shot.
Birdie try again here today. Everybody loves him. Birdie on the card. Frank, this is a great hole through the years to watch when the pressure is ratcheted up deep into a round. That is all you want at more than 220 yards.
Plays slightly shorter because it's downhill. The bunker's on the left in play. Even the bunker short right, and of course the water, if you just miss it a bit, that's in play. And the green shapes away from you. This has to be the most difficult par 3 on the golf course.
Oh, well done on the approach shot. Inside of 10 feet, he'll be very happy with that. Settles in over the putt.
Really solid stroke.
You know, Tiger was born on the same day as LeBron James, December 30th. And he's had his share of slam dunks, especially on the 18th hole here at Bay Hill.
Yeah, he's just a perfect fit for the golf course. You'd think every now and again he fears left, but he doesn't fear left at Bay Hill. We've seen his best golf over the years, over the last 15 or so years. To win there 8 times, nobody's come close to that. Ernie Els, one of the great players in the world, has won it twice.
Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
So maybe a nice way to finish up with a good approach here to the 18th and a good chance for birdie. Hard putt, soft hands, beautiful putt. Don't forget third round coverage coming your way tomorrow on EA Sports. For Frank Nobilo, I'm Rich Lerner, saying so long for now. NBC Golf Channel on EA Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly presents the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live third-round coverage of the Arnold Palmer Invitational. Frank, not overly long, but still a pretty good spot and in the fairway.
Yeah, that's in that 280 mark.
What's he need to watch out for here, Frank?
Those two front bunkers, Rich, the one that protects the left and the right. More often than not, you want to pitch the ball on the front of this green. They are the two to be concerned about.
This one looks like it's headed right for the middle of the dance floor, Frank.
Rather nice shot, I would say.
Well, can't hide the flagstick from that man. Frank going for another birdie here.
Just to get on a real roll. Great start.
Back to the action here at the second. It's a par 3, demanding hole, Frank, isn't it?
Longest par 3 on the golf course. Slightly downhill, but you need every advantage here. It requires your best.
Stuffed it in there really close, and now just a tap in. Now this for birdie, came away with par in the previous round. Good try, just didn't quite read the break, Frank.
It shouldn't be a problem, you'd think, cleaning up here for par.
Getting set now over the putt. That's a nice confidence builder right there. You make those for par, and you keep things steady. Now at the par 4 third, Frank, this is a great golf hole.
It certainly is. Remember, the brain doesn't register don'ts. So aim right, there's a bunker down there. Keep focusing on where you want it to go, not in the other direction.
Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
On the green, and a chance for birdie. Birdie chance here. Very long putt, though.
Got to be a little careful if it gets away on him.
This one has a chance, and he has it. Beautiful putt. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Novello back at the fourth. It's the first par 5 on the golf course, Frank.
The litmus test is that first bunker on the left side. If you can get it past that, you've hit it over 330 yards.
Well, this looks good.
Certainly is.
Frank, the tournament scoring record was set by Buddy Allen. That was way back in 1973. A whopping 23 under. That's like a video game score.
Yeah, they made sure that would never happen again. They lengthened the golf course. They firmed up the greens. They sped them up. They did everything to make sure that nobody, including you, ever shoots 23 under here again.
Paying attention like a little kid at school, Frank. That baby's sitting up.
Sitting up? It's got the best view as well. You don't even need binoculars from where that ball is.
Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on that. Easy birdie.
And this will be a 5-foot putt here.
Rich, it's been a very good workmanlike performance. Yet another birdie.
Into the top 15 on the leaderboard. So through 3 rounds, just outside the top 10, what kind of a chance do you give a player who is sitting outside the first 10?
Yeah, it's slim. I certainly would not say none, though, Rich. You know, we've countless times over the years seen someone post an early one in and watch the leaders crumble at the end. Good opportunity tomorrow. Put a good round on the board and then just sit back and wait. And then remember, there's also the chance of a playoff.
NBC Golf Channel on EA Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly presents the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live final round coverage of the Arnold Palmer Invitational. Be a little disappointed with that because it lands in the rough and it appears to be fairly thick over there. Second shot coming out of the rough here. That should be pretty good right there. On the safe side. On the green and looking at a birdie opportunity. Well, he's going for back-to-back birdies here, trying to jumpstart this round.
Some momentum moving in the right direction.
Drops for a birdie. Fourteenth hole, Frank, more than 200 yards, par 3. This is no picnic.
No, it plays a little longer than that too, slightly uphill. You've got to carry the ball onto the front of the screen. It will not run up.
Respectable shot right there, 20 feet or so from the hole. See if he can go one better than yesterday when he made par. This putt for birdie.
More than a bonus on the scorecard, that.
Frank, the 15th, kind of a fun golf hole if you can curve your ball. I mean, that's a huge dogleg to the right, isn't it?
Yeah, it's much easier if you're a right-hander if you cut it down here. If you don't cut it, then make sure you don't run out down that left side.
Nicely played shot, about 310 yards down the fairway. Frank, what are you looking to do with this approach shot here at 15?
Anytime the flag's on the front, Rich, it's basically green light special. When the flag starts to get pushed towards that back area of that green, it starts to get narrower and narrower and narrower. And that's where you've got to be a little careful.
That's one of the more depressing sights in golf. You hit a good one, and then it just sucks back too much spin off the green. Solid play, heart of the green. And he's putting for par now. Been a little too much of that, Frank, just sort of ho-hum pars. The Bay Hill Club and Lodge features a really exciting finishing stretch. 16 is a reachable par 5. You'll see eagles and birdies there coming home. 17, a very difficult par 3 over the water. The bunker is there. Takes an excellent shot. And then 18 is all you want. We know that with the water in front. That second shot which comes over the lake. And that's a hold-your-breath moment. It is a great finishing 3-hole stretch at Bay Hill. This could be a huge momentum swing here, Frank.
Yeah, one more good swing, and he's going to have an eagle putt coming up. I know you don't want to get ahead of yourself, but it is well on the cards.
Well, look out. This could be wet, Frank.
It's heading towards the hazard.
Wow, lucky break right there, Frank.
Yeah, that's what everyone else is going to say, except him.
Different day, different hole. Made bogey yesterday. He'll do better this time, it looks like.
Finally, something happens that's good.
That's a nice shot right there. Frank, par 3 17th here at Bay Hill. How difficult is this hole?
This one takes your best tee shot, Rich. Otherwise, you're just looking at 4 or 5.
That one is bunker bound, it looks like. That one is in the bunker. Not quite what he was hoping for. The tee shot in the bunker. All right, so greenside bunker. What's he looking to do with this shot, Frank?
Well, really you have to look at the amount of green you got to play with. You don't have to try and fly the ball right by the flag. Allow it to run. Plus, if you can get it to run like a putt, you never know. It might just go in.
Frank, that reminds you of maybe what, the greatest bunker player of all time? This one just requires a little bit of focus. Those keep the round going, those par putts. Frank, the 18th here at Bay Hill. This is a chance to be a hero, but it could all go horribly wrong, couldn't it?
Yeah, this is another hole and a great example of it's never over until it's over.
He has given this one the full treatment. Perfect release through the ball. And this shot is on the fairway, over 300 yards. Sitting up in the fairway now, 180 yards away. That will be a great look at birdie. Birdie putt coming up. Had a par on this hole yesterday. Needs a few more of those. That was a good birdie.
Yeah, this time, that one gets him in the top 10.
Frank, you have to like what you saw out there today.
I certainly did. Swing is excellent right now. Stroke, there's nothing wrong with that. Really, just it's a case of getting out of your own way. I mean, the opportunities ahead now, chance to win, just they have to be so motivating.
Presented by EA Sports and the PGA Tour. It's opening round coverage of the Alberta Classic. Out to the 6th hole now where the action is underway. Let's check in on our featured golfer.
He's gone for a little extra. Smoked that one.
Frank, that ball's sitting up like it's on plush carpeting.
Rich, if you and I had lies like that every time, we'd still be playing this game for a living.
Oh no, look out, Frank. I think he flushed that one.
Oh, this is going, gone.
Just averted danger right there. So close.
Why does he have all the luck?
You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. Well, you couldn't ask for much more than that, except to make it. this would give him the par. Frank, that's a par, and onward we go. Well, Frank, this is the longest hole on the golf course, 602 yards, obviously a par 5, though. But guys like Rory have to be thinking about making an easy 4, getting home in 2.
Yeah, you referenced it. Longest hole on the golf course. Yet Rory McIlroy still reached it in 2. I've seen some long tee shots, but it's the advantage to tee that ball up, get it up there quickly, get the wind behind you. It's amazing how far you can hit it.
Second from an excellent lie. Safely aboard. Frank, I'm not saying he should pull out driver here, but this is a long putt.
Greens are fast, though. You never know. Good line, good pace. Might have a chance.
Looks like he just misread that.
Even par, currently.
A birdie will send him to 1 under on the leaderboard. Now to hole number 8. It's another par 3 with some water, Frank. Only 150 yards. This is the shortest hole on the golf course.
But distance control is still very important here. If you can get the right distance, you could perhaps aim 10 or 15 feet left of the flag. You're only going to have a 10 or 15-foot putt. So just think of that. Water on the right there. Maybe just aim a little further to the left. You can still make birdie.
Really good distance control there, playing well to his strengths.
Chance for back-to-back.
Has it now sitting at 2 under par for the tournament. So we'll round out the front side here at Banff Springs with a par 5 and reasonably short at only 501 yards.
So very reachable because of that yardage that you just referenced. Hole bends a little bit to the right. You can favor the left side with a tee shot. It's just going to make that angle on the second a little bit easier.
No complaints there. In the fairway, down there about 290 yards. Well, Frank, what do you like here? Second shot to this par 5.
I like just the general terrain, Rich. Even though the water's on the right side, you want to keep away from that, which actually makes that ball go towards the general upslope of the green.
Oh, it looked like he caught a flyer right there, Frank.
Well, I don't know what he caught, but this is way too much.
Well, that one didn't work out. It didn't look bad in the air. It hit the green, but didn't sit.
Yeah, it was never going to stop.
Playing his third here at the par 5. How do you like that? He's holding. Just a phenomenal play right there. There you have it, Frank. The first round is a wrap. We saw some good golf out there.
It was certainly a fun round to watch. There's a lot of great players in this field, and this is such an exciting venue. I just can't wait to see what happens the rest of the championship.
This is EA Sports. PGA Tour coverage coming up next. It's second round coverage of the Alberta Classic.
Hazard.
Maybe wet. Into the thick stuff. That's a difficult lie. Second shot from the rough. It's on the way. Frank, how good was that just to get it on the green?
Well, from that shot there, you would have thought for sure that there was no chance he had of finding the green. That was some shot, really. This is an awkward length. Oh, how did that miss?
Are you kidding me? I mean, that one was dead center. Getting set now over the putt. Oh, man.
I just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. Just a couple of feet. Frank, you know full well, this can be a humbling game.
And an embarrassing game.
Frank, what's the key here at the fifth hole? It's par 4, 424 yards.
The first real stringent tee shot of the day. 3 bunkers, first one not really in play. That third one in the distance, unless you're someone like a Bubba Watson, you should be able to aim at that and not reach it.
You can play it from there, 300 yards away and in the fairway. Frank, what are you thinking about on this approach here at the fifth?
Once again, with a good drive, you're left with a scoring club. By that I mean a short iron. Gives you a lot more options and a lot more flags you can go at. Even with a flag in the back left with a scoring club in hand, you can virtually just go straight at that. The ball will not kick too much once it hits the green.
Frank, I'm sure it feels good to get some red numbers on the card, but this tournament is probably too far out of reach at this point.
Good question.
Now at the sixth hole here at Banff Springs, it's a short par 4, only 373 yards, and the short par 4, Frank, all the rage in golf course architecture these days.
A lot more strategy involved when you've got a hole that you can nearly reach with a tee shot. It's how far back can you leave it, what sort of distance you want that second shot. All those things to compute. Straightforward, a little bit uphill. Basically, it's what you want for your second shot.
Now the approach to the par 4 sixth.
A nice layup off the tee. You can virtually hit this shot with your eyes closed. The yardage isn't going to change. Doesn't matter what you put in front. So just dial it in on that yardage.
Frank, how did he do there?
Well, he's inside 30 feet, but 27 feet, it's not exactly what you'd call close.
Made a par in his previous round. This time, it's for birdie. Frank, that's not one you're necessarily thinking about making.
No, just a good putt, though. There's no two ways about that. He's putting well.
So just a formality here. Did the job right there. .602-yard par 5 7th hole. Frank, I'm guessing you want to take the big stick out and let it rip here.
Saw Rory McIlroy hit his tee shot here so far he had to iron it. Can a ball explode?
That is big. I mean, really big. Can't ask for much more here at the 7th. He has hit a good one. Nice position, short grass, second shot. He makes a great pass at the golf ball. It's powerful, but it's rhythmic at the same time. Now his third, staring right at the green. Birdie try up next. Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. Oh man, just slides by. And only a tap in left. Good putt. For par. In for par. Frank, you like this kind of design feature where you go from the longest hole in the course immediately to the shortest hole.
Certainly, golf giveth and golf taketh away. This is just minimally uphill, just a couple of feet, but you can see from the overview the design of the green, and that flag's on the right. It's a little bit of a longer carry, so just be a little cognizant of that. You don't have to hit it directly at the flag.
What a display of shot making this has been, Frank.
That incredible approach shot there. The easiest of birdies coming up.
Once considered the best player at the college level, our featured golfer makes birdie sitting comfortably inside the cut line. Well, Frank, I really enjoyed this. The golf was outstanding.
Well.
Coverage coming your way is presented by EA Sports and the PGA Tour. Today it's live third round coverage of the Alberta Classic. Tugged that one a little bit offline to the left, and he'll pay a bit of a price because that rough is fairly thick.
Rich, there's rough and rough. That ball is needle-nosed down.
Can't even see it from here. Another good swing, and it looks like, Frank, another really good shot.
I mean, this skill, and that was sublime.
Just good hands, coming out of the rough, able to manage the distance, and now in great position. Goes to 6 under par for the tournament. What a display of golf. Frank, you played at the highest level all over the world. What was a comfortable yardage for you on holes like this?
I actually had a club, believe it or not, that just the grooves on it, it would go 105 yards. It was a lofted sand on, whether it was out of the first cut or rough or the fairway. So if I could hit it around 100 yards, I could almost hit that distance with my eyes closed. After that, 70 yards was the next one. So everybody has that little sort of sweet spot with the wedge.
So that means on a hole like this, you were looking for something off the tee in the 265 to 270 range, and that would put what club in your hand?
Just in those days, it was a 53-degree sand iron, yeah.
See if our featured player can do something right today.
Yeah, when you're swinging well, obviously target looks as big as a barn, but on days like today, everything looks difficult.
Really in control of this hole. Birdie yesterday and another opportunity on the way. This hole's been good to him. Birdie yesterday and trying for another one today. Wow, that hurt.
It did. Shot gone forever.
Settles in over the putt. Been a little too much of that, Frank. Just sort of ho-hum pars. Now to the second par 5 on this opening 9. Frank, this is a pretty long hole, 602 yards.
Well, it's called hoodoo. Do you know what hoodoo means? It means bad luck, actually, so you don't really want to be thinking about that on this tee shot. 602 yards, if you belt one off the tee, you might avoid the bad luck.
What a drive. Just tattooed that. Now from a good position in the fairway, his second shot.
Gets a good kick. It's only in the first cut.
Not too bad.
Not too bad.
Frank, I like the way he sort of starts his swing a little bit on the outside and then drops it right on plane. Ends up in the first cut, and he'll have a pretty good look at the whole location from here. Oh, dude, that in the hole. Tremendous shot. Well, Frank, how about this hole? 602 yards of par 5, although I guess I shouldn't be that surprised. 602 yards these days for a long hitter.
What are you saying? It's a drive and a 7-iron?
That's a mid-range par 5.
Well, yeah, 2 woods. The longer hitters will definitely get at home there, especially in good conditions. But bunker down the left, avoid that, carry that, and then we can think about the second shot.
Good, clean contact and a nice result. And a chance for birdie coming up.
No snack, though. Just a fraction too aggressive. Remember, line and speed go together.
Sometimes you want that birdie so badly, and all of a sudden you're faced with a lot of work, more work than you had hoped for, just to make the par. A good effort, a good par putt. Now to hole number 9, 501 yards. It's a par 5.
Yeah, we finished with the third par 5 on the front 9. You're just going to come through those sort of shoot of marvelous trees that define this fairway. Just avoid the right side. Something down the left side is going to open up the second shot.
We moved that one out there, but he is not going to like the lie.
That moved down in the rough.
Frank, this ball's in the rough. Anything you change in your technique when a ball's sitting down a little bit?
Yeah, you put the ball back a little bit further in your stance because you're going to get a bit of grass between the ball and the club face. You have to allow for that and keep that club moving. That grass is going to be that grass is going to create a certain amount of resistance.
Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. Really starting to shine, moves to 10 under for the tournament. So through 54 holes, really good position inside the top 5 with 1 round to go.
Yeah, and those handful of players that we're looking at, Rich, they certainly have looked the best players this week, which makes tomorrow look like a real thriller.